Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I think my sound is okay. All right. So, Black's Giving Conversation. So, the title is a little humorous for the holiday. Um, so, yeah, that's just my perception of a little joke. But my perception on this topic is very real, and that is reparations. And I just wanted to give, Black people something else to kind of conversate about during the Thanksgiving holidays because we have so much going on with this immigration thing, and everybody is focused in on that. So I wanted to talk about reparations. And basically, the argument that we get as Black people, American descendants of slaves, is this redistribution of wealth. And all that really means is taking from one group of people and giving to another, the redistribution of wealth, right? And that would be from white Americans, Jews, So they are upset about that and they do not want to be taxed because they feel like they are overly taxed already. And that's true because they own the majority of the wealth. So yeah, I guess if you own the majority of the wealth, that would happen. So I don't know. It's for me, it's like going to dinner with the wealthiest group of people and them passing you the check. You would be confused by that. You'd be like, "What? I'm here with millionaires and you're passing me the check." So that's what that argument does to me. They own most of the wealth, so it would make sense that it would come from them. So anyway, I think I found the solution. I'm quite sure someone has come up with this before, but I don't think they've ever given anyone a visual. So I seeked out an alternative to resolve where these resources could actually be pulled from. Okay. So my idea was to cut aid from the top 4 to 5 of the highest recipients of aid from America. Right. And let me share my screen so we could kind of, oh, just kind of go over that. Yeah, we're not gonna even do that. We're gonna go right there. Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, you can see here. I guess that's in total of all of the years of combination. How much aid? This is Afghanistan. 2018. We could just click right there. What they got for this year? They got 32 mil, right? And we could just kind of scour through a little bit and look at different countries. Let's look at Armenia. I would be surprised if they would be giving Armenia anything because of the history of everything. But yep. And you see, this is every year. Oh, they didn't get too much this year. Oh, but yeah, this is every year. You see, from 2001, just click right on a dot. 2006, and it just takes you through, every year how much aid these countries receive or whatever. So my idea was to cut aid from at least 4 or 5 of these countries, just to kind of let's see what they give Brazil to take care of Black people. And in that way, it's like, as a white person couldn't get upset about that because this is coming out of everybody's checks anyway. So, truth be told, like it's for Black people, it's like we're paying ourselves partially, but we only make up 14%, of the population. So, whatever. But that's where the money could come from, right here, right from aid. All they have to do 1 year, cut aid from at least 4 to 5 of these countries where they receive a lot of aid. Oh, well, Canada gets money from us? Wow. Okay, but they don't get too much. I was trying to find one of these countries I was looking at and I was like, wow, they really got a lot of money. I think it was Haiti. Haiti had got a lot of money. And it just goes to show you how how crooked their government is. Because they got like 100. So why am I all the way down here looking for Haiti? Bear with me. But yeah, 2016, they got 377 million. That could feed and get those people out of those tents. But we don't know what the government is doing with this money. But yeah, I'm not gonna be on here long. This is just something that I wanted to say. I heard Yvette Carnell. I like her show, and she talks about excuse me, sip a cup a little bit. She talks about the redistribution of wealth. and how that has to be done through taxation, but it's already done. It's already here. The money is already here. It's just about moving it around. This is how, when I first came across this site, this is how I knew reparations could be possible for us. Because I'm like, if they're giving these people money year after year after year, how hard would it be for them to just cut 1 year? No, they didn't get nothing this year. Trump ain't playing. But yeah, all of the countries they are, you could go back here yourself and just, if you're interested, whatever country you're interested in, you could just click on and it'll tell you how much they got from 2001 up to 2018. But they give a lot of aid to a lot of different countries. And like I said, from at least 4 to 5 top highest recipients of aid could be redistributed into reparations for Black people. So this is what we should be saying to our senators and our congressmen. This is what the argument should be: cut aid for 1 year and redistribute that to a fund for reparations for Black people, for Black DOS. And like I said, it would be no problem for them to figure out who we are, because they could go back to your great grandparents. And I think most of our great grandparents, I believe that's when they started taking census, because they didn't used to count us, as far as census was concerned. But once they were able to draw some type of funding or something from the government, then they started counting, the Black people, the Black slaves that they had on their plantations or whatever. So they could go back to like our great grandparents, and they could figure out, how long we've been here, who we are, or whatever. It wouldn't be a big deal. We're only 14% of the population, so they're obviously not mixing us in with other groups when they count us up. Okay, so yeah, this is a good conversation to have. You don't have to argue about if you're a Democrat, if you're thinking about leaving. You don't have to argue about Trump and, who's going to be the next president and, whatever you're going to be fighting about. This is a good conversation to have. And it's a way to build strategy for your next candidate, for the next election. This is something that you can use as a tool, something you want to ask for. They have the H.R.40 out, but that is just a study. But what I was encouraging people to do was to call your congressman, call all of them, call all the Democrats, call all the Republicans, and just tell them that you want H.R.40 pushed into a bill and passed. That's what you want, and passed into law. We don't want the study, because the study would mean that you're paying people extra money for them to figure something out that's already been figured out. We all know what happened to us. There's plenty of publications. There's plenty of old news clippings. There's diaries. There's too much evidence, too much proof. All right. So we couldn't get this done. And we have to use our senators and congressmen. For anybody telling you that voting isn't important, that's a lie. Because you want to have control of the people who are making laws for you. Okay, so it's very important that you vote. Anybody saying that you just participate in the white supremacist system, but how else are you going to get things done? They don't have any answers for you to tell you how to go about getting any type of resolve, for our race. They don't have any solutions. They just like tell you hate white people. And, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Rise up and get yourself killed. Because like I said, we're only 14% of the population. We don't have a military amongst the 14%. We are Americans. So we are part of the American military, 20% of the American military or whatever. So it's like talking about rising up and we're going to go out here and we're going to destroy white folk, when it's not just white folk alone that you would have to go up against. If you're going to be honest with yourself, Jews play a major role in our slavery here, in our ancestors' slavery here. I don't remember the name, but there's plenty of guys on here who can break it down thoroughly for you from the conscious community. They can break it down for you and explain to you who was the priest who basically negotiated slavery here, because slavery was illegal, in this country for a long time. And then he convinced them that, Black Africans would be more beneficial for you to have as slaves instead of the Irish, who were like they were like indentured servants. They were paid, low wages, but they were paid and they weren't lynched and everything like that. So he was like, if you get these black people over here in bulk, you don't got to pay them nothing. You can pretty much do what you want to them and, just utilize their strength or whatever. So, a lot of people played a part in our slavery. So I think we need to get off of just saying the white man. I gave that up probably like a decade or two ago. Like, it's not just no white man. Once you start reading, you see that a lot of people had hands in it, even your own kind. Okay, so we have to hold everybody accountable for slavery. But like I said, this will be a quick and easy fix to give black people reparations, and there's no reason why they couldn't do it because they already here. They already have the money. They've already collected it from people, and all they would have to do was just group us, and issue it however that would be. You know, would if it would be in a form of cash? I think it should be cash because at the end of the day, I don't I don't need somebody else to tell me what my family needs. I know exactly what my family needs, and I know what reparations would mean for my family and a lot of other people's families who are struggling. Even if you have a business, you're still working poor because we don't have a big enough community to do business with. Like I said, we're 14% of the population, so you have to do business outside your race. You can't just have this. We gonna have black economics and we just gonna buy and sell to each other. It's like we would be stagnant. We would be very, very stagnant or whatever. And this pretty much from just learning a little bit about the stock market. That's how I kind of arrived at this because I learned a little bit about how to move money around, right? Because businesses do this all the time. They talk about it all the time, So that's where I kind of figured out, okay, they could just move this money from one place to another for 1 year. 1 year. And wouldn't those people wouldn't die. Trust and believe me, they would not die if you remove funding to them for 1 year. Okay, so I'm Ray Ray, guys. This was, like I said, a little fun conversation, a little something a little interesting you can maybe go over with your family so you don't have to argue. I like to bring awareness through conversation in hopes that it sparks change. And I also want to say stay alert to that caravan because now there's a fifth uh caravan coming in from Brazil. So they're gonna keep coming, guys. So keep your eyes, pay attention to this. Don't just, put it to the rear view. I'm just saying you don't have to discuss it over your Thanksgiving, but don't, put it out of your psyche. Pay attention to this because we don't know what's gonna happen with this situation or what that could mean for us. We see Mexico is a lot of people from America, Mexicans. I don't even how. What am I trying to say? Okay, a lot of Mexicans that lived in America have went back home and they went over there. I guess because they send money home, so they want to protect whatever it is they're trying to build over there. So they decided to leave to go over there to defend it. So they took it that seriously. If all of these people, so far it's about 30,000 in total. Once they all gather up at that border, it's about 30,000. We have more coming. So, maybe we want to say maybe about 35 to 40,000 by the time they get there. And these people, if they push through and bum rush, we don't know, what's going to happen. And California is going to be the first one to, feel it, So just keep aware, just pay attention. And I'm out.